Right, hello all. I didn't know this was going to be such a thing like this. I thought it was just going to be me showing two people how to use OctaMED. I'm quite happy with that. I'm no musical genius at all. I can just about strum my way through the first two Oasis albums, but I do know how to use OctaMED. So if you've got any kind of complex musical questions, I'm not really your man. If you've got any complex hardware Amiga questions, I'm just going to diverge there. But what I'll do is I'll show you on OctaMED and I'll explain a bit about it. I will show you what a mod looks like, and I'll try and make a really crappy mod while we're all watching, so you can just see how it's. So, I am using OctaMED 5.04, so that's not the most recent up-to-date one. It's about in the middle. This was given away on a CU Amiga contest back in the day. It's the one I kind of learned to use over. There are early versions. The latest version is OctaMED Sound Studio, which is a lot more powerful. It's more like full-on sound programs, hardly disc recording. There's a lot more fancy stuff. Play memories, sounds from fast memory. I like the layout. It's nice and simple. It looks very Amiga. So this looks really complicated. And when you have a mod running, it does look a bit like the Matrix, because you just see all this stuff going on. But it's really, really not that complicated. In a nutshell, the Amiga's got 4 sound channels that it outputs. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's called OctaMED because unlike ones like ProTrack or other trackers, it can actually output more. It can do a little hardware trick and it can do 8. And on later versions it can go even higher than that. But I never use that. I stick to 4 because I think that's the sound of the Amiga. You can just 4 channels, so you don't need it. So this is the main sort of, you do everything from this main screen. There's different ways you can go into different things. So you've got, you'll load different instruments up to make different sounds. You can change different things to do on there. You can transpose them. You can sort of fine tune them. I'll show you in a minute. You can actually see a waveform of the sample that you're playing with, and you can chop it up and reverse it. You can do some quite kind of advanced things. Considering that this was kind of the hardware that this was running on was released at the same time where kind of DOS PCs were just beeping and bleeping. This was doing sort of full on quite good music. So I'm running off an Amiga Mini, which is quite handy because on the Amiga Game Selector site there's a lovely massive collection of mods and samples. So what I'll do, let's load up something really, really simple. Show you how it all works. Let's go. Dancing Pop, everyone loves the 80s. There we go. Take on me. So I've loaded them off. I can play it from here. Start playing straight away. So you can do 4 sound channels. That's your drums. Every time one of these. So what you're doing, you're laying down samples along here. So these are notes that it's playing. When it hits this trigger bar, you may go play the sample. It's as simple as that. It's the same as an old piano that will just play automatically and hit when it's supposed to. It's the same thing. So you just build your song up as you go. It won't sound great through this TV again. While it's running, you can play around a bit, so you can change the sound, speed it up, you can slow it down. And what you can do, I quite like to see, put up to a decent speed. Let's just go to so you can actually, so if you can hear me, I can hear me all right, the conscious is quite loud. Okay, so as I say, song's playing away. What I've done at the minute, instead of playing the whole song, I'm playing a block. So basically mods are made up of blocks. So every section of the song will be a block, and then you link those blocks together in a sequence to make a song. So a block, you can just have a loop over and over and over and over. Or you can have it from block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. And then what you can do is you go to the sequence section, you can tell it to play block 1, block 2, block 3, and block 4, and then it will play a song in order. So that way you can have a verse, a chorus, a middle eight, and then you can structure it all together. So at the minute I'm just playing a block on a continuous loop. You can turn each channel off, so you can kind of break a mod down and listen to how it's made up, so you can just have the drum beats going. As you can see, as those samples are hitting that trigger bar, the Amiga's playing them, and all the C, D, B, all that is just the notes being played, simple as that. So along that, you've just got a nice easy drum beat, so you can see what it's doing. Bass drum and a snare, bass drum and a snare. Over here, you can turn this one on, and there's your melody and your bass. So all it is just playing the notes, all this stuff next to it, so that's C. That is actually fading it, volume. So what you can do is, instead of just having a note being played, you can put a command line next to it. There's loads of different ones. Some do volume, some do pitch, some of that like a tremolo or a wobble effect to it. The most commonly used one is this, because it just controls the volume. So what you can do is here, trigger the sample pool fade here. So it means it's sample number 5, it's played in the B key, and then C, I don't know why it's C, but that'll be the volume. It's going to start on 30, then 20, then 10, so it's almost going to fade down in volume. Does that make sense? So it's kind of, so it fades nicely out, it's not just a long straight noise. So then you can bring another channel as well. You've got the main chorus there. And that really is the nuts and bolts of all the mod is, and that's all it's doing. So you get them all together. So in here, these are all the blocks of the song. It works in 64 bars. So you start at 0, and it goes all the way down to 64. So you can change the size of the blocks, and you can make it as long and short as you want. But it tends to, like most things, because it's a 4/4 kind of structure, it tends to work in sort of multiples of 4. So it'll be 64. But I say you can change that and make it longer or shorter if you want to. So what it'll do, play this block all the way through at the end. Once it gets to 63, it will just loop back round again. So that's how you construct your blocks. So you can make all your different blocks. So you can name these as well, which is quite a handy way to do it. So chorus, verse, middle eight, anything you want like that. So you make all your blocks as you go, and then once you're ready, you just sequence them together in the sequencing section. So all this is doing is it's saying, firstly, play block 35. Secondly, play block 0. Thirdly, play block 1, 2, 3, and it goes through like that. And that's all it is to making a mod. You're just literally making blocks in a sequence and then telling the Amiga what sequence you want to play them in. So what I tend to do when I am making a mod is I'll use the first block to just kind of mess around, play around, get all the sounds I want, and then add a load of blocks and just build up as I go. So I'll show, we'll make one together and I'll show you what I mean. You've got some other fun stuff you can do with this. So holding shift and going left and right will take you through all the different samples you've got loaded up. And what you can do is the Amiga keyboard will kind of act as a keyboard. So play drums and play something with a bit more music. And that's how you make the sound. So you can, if you really want to, let's clear it. So we'll start from scratch. I'll just clear everything bar the samples. So you can press the edit button. That means we're live, and anything I press now will now record into the block. So you can play it, and it will record whatever you want to do. Type it out. Obviously, that's going to sound shit, but you can still do it because you can launch it. But the better way to do it is obviously play it properly as you can make melodies and things on the fly that way. So you can play it. So quite easy, just I won't sound like because I'm not playing so anything. And then play it back. That's all it is. I don't make these right though. You can set this up to work as a MIDI trigger, so you can sort of have keyboards and all sorts playing into it, and then this will trigger the keyboard, or you can play it, do a record on there. I just do it straight from the keyboard to the Amiga. So, as I say, it tends to work in kind of multiples of 4. So let's do a drum beat to make a good drum beat. So I know that if I do 8, 16, so that will just be a nice simple drum beat. Speed up a little bit. We need a snare in there now. So you do. Okay. Now, that snare might be a bit loud, so what I can do, I can use that old C trick. So let's put it down to about 30. Should go here, but still sound a little different. You see? So that's basically what you're doing, and then you just adding and adding as you go. Just like a hi-hat in there. I'm sure there's a hi-hat here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So it's going to be a very, very simple beat, but it'll give you an idea of what So what we can do, so let's say our song starts off like that. I'm going to add a new block. So this is block number 1. So what I'll do is I'll just put this just drums. Now we can add something else to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy that. So we can copy the track. So these are individual tracks. The whole thing is a block. So if I copy that track, go and have a new block. I'll drop it back in here. So now we know that's going to play the same, but we'll add something new into it as well. So let's add some chords. Okay. Let's do a nice easy chord structure. Ready, 3, 9 chords. What about that? And then still that sound. Now, what I have noticed is that that snare is a little bit quieter, but then it goes a bit louder. So what we can do, ultimately, it's really cool. It's got loads of little tricks, so you can actually copy the sections. Copy that, copy the range. Then paste that range. It should then all match up. So we've got 2 blocks, nice and simple. We've got just drums, and we've got drums and chords. What we can do, we've got our sequence section. Now at the minute, the playing sequence is just drums. That's all it's going to play. It'll just play that on the loop. So what we could do is we could have, let's have just drums twice, and then we'll introduce drums and chords. And then we should have start the song. So play. That one. And it'll play it again.
Yes.
That's basically how you put a song together. So what we can do now, let's have a quick play around some more. So I'll have a new one. I'm going to copy that whole block this time.
But yeah, I think most things
So drums and chords again. What I'm going to do this time, let's start loading some sort of better samples into it. So what you've got edit sample here, which is quite cool. So you can see in waveform what your sample is, what it looks like. You can play around pitch. You can play around with it, so you can reverse it. I won't sound any different. It's just basically already reverse sound. You get the idea. You can cut it up should you need to. So let's say we just want that part of the sample. You can do other bits and bobs to it, so you can filter it, change the pitch, you can filter, you can boost it. You can add a really primitive kind of echo, it never works particularly well. So yeah, not great. But you can play around, you can cut samples up, and you can do whatever you want really. So let's load an instrument up. So we've got a nice drum lick there. So what I'm going to do is get the speed just about right.
certain elements
What you can do, you've got a nice little fine tune, so you can kind of get the sample just how you want it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fascinating. Oh.
Well, I'll just put a quick melody in, and then that's basically it. That is in a nutshell how you make a mod. Feel free to ask any questions as I'm going through. If you want me to do anything or show you anything again. Oh, a kazoo. But anyway, yeah, so that's basically what you're doing. So you just constructing blocks bit by bit and then adding them to your sequence. So what I'll do, I will delete. There you go, that's our first next song. That's it. and say let mod. So when you're ready, then you save it. OctaMED's really good because it's got so many handy little features. It'll tell you how big a mod's going to be, which is always handy for game creation and stuff like that. So you see exactly how much you're dealing with. You can save it in a MED file. You can also save it as a tracker format as well. If you save it as a tracker, it makes it more compatible with a lot of things. And screw the tempo and the speed up a little bit. So you have to tweak it a little bit. But yeah, we'll save it in different formats. And that is kind of it. That's it in a nutshell. So it's looking at something a bit more complicated.
Tends to be for games. If you're writing for games, A, it needs to be in protractor format, and B, you can really only want to use 3 channels. So you need to use leave the 4th channel free for sound effects.
Oh, yeah. So I've noticed on sometimes they'll almost use that 4th channel, but then when you sort of play the sound in the game, it will cut the audio out briefly, and then when it triggers that sample again, it will come back in. So it kind of overtakes the sound.
Conventional wisdom now, though, seems to be that musicians try to limit themselves to 3 channels.
Yeah. And to be fair, it is really good. You can do quite a lot of 3 channels.
And the reason for the tracker format is so that the coder can use PT Player Library to get the music playing.
MED files are a lot bigger, aren't they? And I think the player alone is a lot bigger as well. It takes a lot of
and when you've got like CPU critical game running, you don't tend to have a lot of cycles left over for playing.
It wouldn't be an Amiga demonstration without crap. That'll do. I think that's all we need to say. I don't know if that's been helpful.